service, so they come to you. And if you do drop it off, you can check your repair status online. Ocala Mac and PC Repair is a family-owned and operated company that can do everything from mobile repair to wireless networks, fixing viruses, data recovery, even building and installing new systems. Visit online at ocalamacpc.com. In person, 1713 East Silver Springs Boulevard, or give them a call, 352-566-8324. That's 352-566-8324. Ocala Mac and PC Repair.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, beautiful Thursday morning, and that theme song means it's time for Veterans News. Hank Whittier is not here today. Gary Pascale sitting in the captain's seat. Good morning, Gary. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry. I'm doing good, and good morning, veterans, and good morning, listeners out there. We got a great show planned for you this morning. We have Jeff Harvey with us. He's got to get some facts straight about Saturday because we got a real important event going on in Veterans Park on Saturday, and I have Justin and Jerry with me from the rodeo, who are going to talk about the rodeo in a little bit later on in the show. But Larry, unfortunately, we do have some casualties that we have to report to get things started. And unfortunately, we have fire, we have police, and we have a Department of Defense casualty today. Starting with the fire casualties, we have Deputy Chief Clinton Alvin Beasley of the Summerall Volunteer Fire Department in Summerall, Mississippi. His date of death was March the 15th. We have firefighter Joseph Toscano, who was with the Watertown Fire Department in the U.S. National Grid in Watertown, Massachusetts. His date of death was March 17th. And we have firefighter Loretta Ann Sykes of the Summerall Volunteer Fire Department, also in Summerall, Mississippi. Her date of death was also March 15th of 2017. We have firefighter Stephen Paul Busser of the Ames Fire Department in Ames, Iowa, and his date of death was March the 17th. On the law enforcement side, we have Sergeant Sean T. Anderson of the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office in Louisiana. His end of watch was Saturday, March 18th, 2017, and he died as a result of hostile gunfire. And with the Department of Defense today, we do have a U.S. Army casualty. We have U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Robert R. Boniface, who was 34 years old, of San Luis Obispo, California, who died on March 19th in the Logar province of Afghanistan. He was assigned to the 1st Battalion, 7th Special Forces Group at Elgin Air Force Base in Florida. And just on a note, before we get to our thoughts and prayers, you know, of course our thoughts and prayers are with all these firefighters, this police officer, and you know, with our soldier today. But our love, thoughts, and prayers also go out to our brothers and sisters in England who suffered a terrorist attack last night. So, Larry.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but
Well, we want to thank the folks at WOCA for letting us on here every week to bring you Veterans News Hour, and the fine folks at Bob Wine's Camellia Garden and Nursery, who have been bringing us Veterans News for as long as I can remember. When it comes to landscaping, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilizer, and much more. Bob Wines will even deliver. They'll plant it and they'll guarantee the trees that they plant. Bob Wine's Camellia Garden and Nursery has been keeping things blooming in Ocala since 1952. You can contact them at area code 352-629-5766, or even better yet, you can go there in person to 2610 Southeast 38th Street in our own beautiful Ocala. And springtime is here, so get over there and get your plants, and make sure you tell them you heard about them on WOCA. And if you're a veteran, you get a 10% discount, and you can't beat a deal like that. Well, Larry, we do got a record to set straight, so I got Mr. Jeff Harvey here. You want to talk about what's coming up Saturday for the Welcome Home Day, and there might have been a little bit of a mix-up, you said?
Yes, this is Jeff Harvey. I'm retired lieutenant colonel, and I'm privileged this year to be the guest speaker, or I think they call it the keynote speaker. At Fort Benning, we used to call it the guest sleeper, depending on how interesting they were or not. Just a reminder that on Saturday, the 25th of March at 10 a.m. at Veterans Memorial Park in Ocala, there will be a Welcome Home celebration. It will mark the 4th National Vietnam Veterans Welcome Home Day and the first Marion County/Ocala Welcome Homes Day for all veterans. Jeff Askew and his outstanding group of volunteers have another outstanding celebration lined up to welcome home all veterans. I repeat, all veterans from all eras, wars, and conflicts. Even though the newspaper notice refers to it as a Vietnam veteran celebration, it is for all veterans. The Marion County Veterans Services, Jeff Askew, is in discussion with various veterans groups, and others believe that our county celebration should be inclusive of all who have served our country in an active or reserve status. We encourage all veterans and their families from all eras, wars, conflicts, World War II, Korea, Cold War, the Cuban crisis, the Dominican Republic, Vietnam, Grenada, Panama, the Balkan peacekeeping operations, Somalia peacekeeping operations, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts, and all those deployments that we're not supposed to know about. We welcome them to come out and enjoy the gathering of friends, and for all veterans, again I emphasize all veterans, to be welcomed home by this fantastic community. It is not something the community has to do. It is something that they sincerely believe that they should do. All veterans should be welcome home and thanked. Again, on Saturday, 10 o'clock, Veterans Memorial Park on the corner of Fort King and Southeast 25th Avenue, a Welcome Home All Veterans Day celebration.
Okay, and if you need any more information on this, you can contact Jeffrey Askew's office at area code 352-671-8422, which is a number I know by heart because I give it out all the time. Larry, how long we got before break?
Oh, just about half a minute.
Okay, Justin, you want to introduce your guest real quick, and then right after break, we'll go ahead and let him talk about the rodeo.
Yes, sir. Good morning. This is Jerry Todd. Jerry Todd is our the Southeastern Pro Rodeo official rodeo announcer, master of ceremonies, and has been with us for 15 years now, Jerry?
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and we welcome him every year, and he does a fantastic job, not only representing cowboys and cowgirls, but also the veterans and all those who have served our country and first responders.
All right, well, let's take a little break, and we'll be right back with Veterans News. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Thursday, intervals of clouds and sun, breezy and cooler than recent days. There can be a shower or thunderstorm in places near the coast, the high 72 to 76. Mostly cloudy Thursday night, low 54 in the northern part of the zone to 65 in the south. And for Friday, breezy with clouds and sun, high 74 to 78. Saturday, partly sunny, high 78 at the coast, 84 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hey everybody, the Value Spotlight is on roses this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. Bob has more roses than anyone, including double knockouts, drift roses, tea roses, all kinds of hybrids, hundreds in stock. Take your pick, one or a dozen, prices starting at a low $15.99. Don't forget azaleas. Ocala's favorites are the ever-blooming red ruffles, still just $3.99. Here's an unadvertised special, big gorgeous Gerber daisies, just $2.99 while they last. Got a problem with dollarweed? The solution is Bob Wine's famous dollarweed killer, enough to treat 5,000 feet, just $19.99 at Bob Wine's. Bob Wine's, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. Open daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 2. Homegrown, locally owned, in the same blooming location since 1952.
Don't miss the program Higher Education Happenings. It'll be on WOCA The Source on Monday, March 27th at 10:35 a.m. Mike Fallon from Webster University will be hosting a panel of educational experts from the College of Central Florida, St. Leo University, the University of Central Florida, and of course Webster University. They'll be speaking to us about educational opportunities right here in our area, all on the program called Higher Education Happenings on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM. Here is a 30-second news brief from the source WOCA. A bill to ban hydraulic fracking in Florida appears to be stuck in the House of Representatives. State representatives are scheduled to vote this afternoon on a bill that pulls the plug on red light cameras. The Coast Guard says a Citrus County man fell off a Carnival Victory cruise ship yesterday morning near Cuba. And manatees are beginning their annual trek north through Florida's inland waters, so be careful boating. And that is your news brief from the source.
This is Jan Marino from Palm Garden. So often when you advertise, it's hard to quantify whether your efforts are effective. But I have a success story. In my travels to medical offices, I ran across someone who recognized my voice from the radio and told me that they felt like they already knew me because of my association with WOCA. My message to you, they're out there, they're listening. Truly, radio gets results. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA, The Source.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, 66 degrees. Let's return to Veterans News with Gary Pascale. Gary?
Yeah, I want to get back to Justin and Jerry because, you know, this fine rodeo we got coming up here, the 50-50 drawing is going to benefit veterans, helping veterans on Friday night, and on Saturday night it's going to be with breast cancer?
Yes, sir, with Michelle Graham.
So I will go ahead and turn it over to these two fine gentlemen, and maybe we'll hear some real rodeo announcing from you, Jerry.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us come in this morning. This Friday and Saturday, we have the 24th Annual Southeastern Pro Rodeo out at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. Friday night is our Wrangler National Patriot Salute the Troops night at the rodeo. And as Gary had said, we're doing having the vets helping vets of Marion County out to do a 50-50 drawing. In addition to the drawing, we'll have a second place winner. We're going to have Yingling was kind enough to donate a Grizzly 40-quart cooler.
Oh, nice.
Valued around $300 that they'll be giving away as well for the second winner of out of the 50-50 drawing. So first winner, a good chance they're going to walk out of there with a pocket full of cash, and then the other individual is going to walk out of there with a really nice cooler that can keep ice cold for about a week.
Very nice. And it's tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Tomorrow and Saturday night. Gates open at 5:30. Rodeo starts at 7:30, and additional information can be found on our website, which is ocalarodeo.com. And also tomorrow night is Kids Night at the rodeo, so children 6 through 11 get in for $5. 5 and under are always free.
Very interesting.
Good family event.
Good family event. How did you get into being a radio announcer?
I was competing in rodeo. I rode bucking horses for about 10 years, and one day a guy just walked up and said, "Hey, how'd you like to start announcing rodeos?" I said, "I don't know. I've never done it before." Think about it. So
well, I can hear you have a great voice, and maybe that's what happened.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that I don't know that I had that great voice a long time ago. I think that's been kind of perfected over the years. But I've been doing this.
You honed it, huh?
Oh, well, you about have to, in our industry. But a guy said, you want to start announcing rodeos, and he gave me about 2 weeks, and I called him back and said, "Sure, I'll give it a try." And I went to my first rodeo, and when an older announcer showed up there, he had sound equipment. He said, "Listen, just go up there about 20 minutes before the rodeo and tell everybody where the bathrooms are at, tell everybody where the concession stands are at. That's easy." He said, "I'll kind of break the ice and then go from there." And so I did, and I've been doing it for 40 years now.
Not many of us are rodeo experts.
Yes, sir.
So we have a lot of football experts. So you go to a football game, you don't always need an announcer. But at a rodeo, we really do, because we don't really know what we're looking at.
Well, what people, sometimes people try to make rodeo a sport, and that's okay for the cowboys competing, but rodeo is entertainment, and that's the bottom line. And even in professional sports this day and time, they're trying to find other things to do around their sports to make it entertaining, because they've made it pretty boring, especially with all the TV breaks and everything else they're doing. You go to a college football game now, it gets pretty boring sitting there with all the timeouts, TV breaks, injury breaks. I mean, you're broke most of the time.
Yeah.
Of course, when you go there, you get broke because it's pretty expensive to go. But rodeo's still pretty affordable. In fact, I think tickets here are like $15. I mean, for advanced tickets.
Yes, advanced tickets are $15, and at the gate $18.
So for entertainment, you could take a family. Especially if you got small children, you can bring your kids for 5 and under for free. And Friday night, all kids are like $5. That's a pretty good deal. And it's the one sport that kind of, even in pro rodeo, and ours is sanctioned by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, so it is a professional sanctioned event. The cowboys and cowgirls that are coming here, they're just like the cowboys and cowgirls that enter Fort Worth, Denver, Cheyenne.
Nice.
I mean, they're the same guys. I mean, they travel across the country. They're working for points to try to qualify for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. And so, this is the one true sport that comes to small town America. Ocala. You're not going to see the Yankees or anybody else play baseball here or football. They're not coming here with their professional teams, but rodeo does. So we like to keep it out in the forefront. It is an American sport, and long before anybody was paying tribute to the vets anywhere else, before they got on this kick of wanting to welcome our veterans home and the soldiers home. I mean, of course, we do that now. We roll out the red carpets and everything. But I can remember a time in our American history when we're not so nice to guys who came home from war. Right. And so we've been doing it a long time in the world of rodeo. I mean, that American flag has always came out, before the rodeo starts out. I mean, ever since I've been involved in it, I've been in rodeo for 40 plus years, and even before that, they always bring that American flag out. That's one of the first things we do, is we bring it out. We play the national anthem. We're not ashamed of it. We also have always honored our vets at rodeos for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
so this is not just something we've tried to jump on the bandwagon, as a lot of people have, and it's the politically correct thing to do. It's always been politically correct in rodeo for us to honor guys who serve our country, because, hey, rodeo cowboys, they always have been servants of our country.
Now, the ones I seen, they carried the flag on the horse. Do they still do that?
They still do that. Right. You bet. I mean, that's the cowboy way of doing it. That's the cowboy. I like every now and again when we have a military team come out and honor guard and bring out the flag. I like that, But, we're cowboys, and we're in rodeo, and everything we do, we try to do a horseback. They always say a cowboy without a horse is cripple, and then that's pretty true, So great rodeo lineup this weekend. Like I said, it's professional. We got some of the best cowboys and cowgirls coming to town, PRCA, WPRA members, and they're all trying to make their way to Las Vegas, where there's $10 million up for grabs and 10 go-rounds of competition to determine the world champion.
Wow. So I think it's that kind of information that we like hearing from the announcer, when you give us little tidbits of information about each of the cowboys, each of the competitors, and even your comments about the fact that you've always been patriotic as an organization. I think the crowd loves to hear that stuff.
And I started doing something a while back. I mean, you always, I've always tried to do this, and I know we honor our vets today who come back from Iraq and our all the different conflicts that we're involved in, but there's one group of people I always try to recognize, and I have them stand up, and I don't really apologize to them, but I do tell them, say, listen, we want you to know that you're heroes like anybody else, and that's the guys who returned from Vietnam. That was more in my era.
Sure.
Like I was telling these gentlemen here earlier, the draft ended when I graduated from high school. I was 1A. I remember when everybody had the numbers, you were 1A or whatever, and if you was 1A and that was on your card, you was pretty much up to leave. You were going to get drafted after it's over with. But anyway, those guys, they didn't really receive the honor.
That's right.
That they should have when they returned home. And so I like to remind this younger generation of that every time I go to a rodeo. I'll remind these kids and stuff of the service that these men and women made for us.
Good for you.
So, but anyway, we're looking forward to a great weekend. We got, like I said, we got some great Cowboys. And last year on our 50-50 drawing, I think somebody won almost $3,000 one night.
Yeah, the total was around right at 6,000.
Yeah.
And so 50% of that went to Michelle Graham, and then the other 50 went to the lucky individual. And so this year we've expanded to have one on both Friday and Saturday night. So we're very thrilled to have Marion County vets helping vets out there so we can help the local men and women who have served our country and their families and what they do. In addition to the 50-50, we're going to have for sale, Resistol has come out with a Saluting Those Who Serve. It's a feather that's painted with the American flag on it. It's a minimum $5 donation.
Oh, nice.
And the proceeds from this will also be going to the Marion County Vets Helping Vets. So we'll be selling these in the stands on Friday evening.
Oh, very nice.
And it's a really nice thing to plug in your cowboy hat. So if you don't have a cowboy hat, go buy one today, either at Boot Barn or Russell's Western Wear, and come out so you can get a flag and stick it in your hat.
That is nice. Stuck a feather in his hat.
Like Yankee Doodle Landy.
That is beautiful. On that cooler you were mentioning, I was reading an article in Field and Stream, and they were testing them. They kept ice cold for something like 8 days and 7 hours or something.
It's a long time. I mean, it's they're amazing coolers, especially when we have some power outages at certain times of our year here in Florida with the storms, and you can prepare and have that cooler. You're going to keep your food nice and cold.
Gentlemen, you have a phone call, and if you'll put your headsets on, you'll be able to hear the caller. Let me wait till you get your headset on, and if you can all hear me, then you'll be able to hear the caller. Can you hear me through your headset?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everybody? Okay.
I can hear.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning. I was going to say, if you saw the film American Sniper, Chris Kyle was in rodeo before he was in the military.
That's right.
And I just somehow felt like that goes with today's show.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't know that.
And
yep, he was.
I was wondering, I've loved horses all my life, and I wonder occasionally if you keep a bed on hand. I worry about the horses getting injured when they're doing their bucking things and stuff, and that's all.
And if I might address that, I would really like to do that, because I know there's concern with people, in the way, with animals and everything else. Our animals are very well taken care of. These horses, if you were to come to Las Vegas next year and come to, like, say, the bucking stock sale, these horses go from anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 to $15,000, $20,000. Even there was one horse sold there last year for $100,000. I don't think anybody wants to hurt one. That if I'm spending $20,000 on anything, I don't want to hurt it at all. And I want to make sure I take care of it. And they're fed very well. And a lot of people are concerned about the flank strap that's put on a horse, and they say that makes him buck. The flank strap does not make that horse buck. That horse is naturally going to perform. He's naturally going to buck like this. What the flank strap does, and it's been used for centuries, even veterinarians in the old days, in order to lay an animal down, they would take that flank and they would put it around the flank of that horse, and if you pull it tight enough, you can lay this horse down. It actually kind of just paralyzes him in the back end. He can go down. So we wrap it in sheepskin, and we so for protection, it won't burn. The leather won't burn the horses at all, and so we try to really protect that area. But what it does, it kind of slows this horse down a little bit and gives him a lot more kick, and so everything that we do to try to protect these animals. We love the animals we ride. I mean, I've got one I've got a medicine hat paint that I ride, and he's just kind of part of the family. And so, and that's the way these guys, they look at. I mean, the guys that come to get on the horses, they have particular horses they really care a lot about and they love, you know. So we do everything we can do to take care of our animals.
Well, thank you, guys. Gary, we are up against the end. If you can take us out.
I will take us out. Looking to see you forward, seeing you at the rodeo and see you at the welcome home. And for Hank Whittier, God bless America.
From above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The British Prime Minister revealing details about the man who carried out the terror attacks in London yesterday.
What I can confirm is that the man